Well, greetings. I just, I've been on a little vacation for a little while, so I'm back, and I did a drive across country here recently, and gave me some time to rethink some things. It gave me some time to refresh and to look back and just check out some things. That drive uh, really energized me. Had an opportunity to really kind of talk with my son along the way, and just really enjoy the fellowship between he and I. And it was an interesting drive. I mean, when you're driving for that long, man, it's you kind of open up about a few things, and that's what happened. And you know, and that was the experience with the drive. But always going home to Mississippi, I've always enjoyed myself, the fellowship, the friendship that I have with individuals who are still there. It was indeed an honor to be in the presence of those who are still hanging around and doing their thing. So it was great. So I just want to welcome everybody who's coming on right now. I'm going to share with you my experience, that drive, some things that I enjoyed, and the message uh, that I had with a few older brothers, few older um, Masonic brothers there. So and it was a little different. It was a little different, and I would say this: sitting around, or may I say, speaking with uh, gentlemen who have been in masonry for a long time gives you definitely a different perspective on Freemasonry that you don't usually get. And that's what this trip did for me. I mean, out of all the times I've gone home, I've enjoyed fellowshipping, but to sit down or to have conversation with brothers who are a lot older than I gave me a different perspective. One that I said that, what, have anybody ever delivered a message to the Black Masons, to the Sister of the Order of Eastern Star? Have anyone ever delivered that type of message to us collectively? Not jurisdictionally, not that petty stuff, but I'm saying collectively. Have anyone that you knew, or even I've been trying to think, who in Masonry has come along and delivered a message to us? I mean, granted, we are in the various jurisdictions across the United States, and at times we find ourselves at odds with each other over the pettiest thing, over something that is so minute. But nobody has ever come to us and delivered a message to us as far as saying, sister, brother, who has put you in the condition that you're in now, to where you see your brother, your sister differently than you do your own self? Who has told you these things and has put in your mind that you are better than your brother, your sister? Who has lied to you? Who has done these things to you? Where did they come from? How did they end up inside of us to where we, find ourselves so hostile toward each other? Even I had to think of that, because even I have found myself at times in my youth as a Mason, you know, being kind of hot headed. That's the truth. However, we all grow up. We all grow up. Some bridges, as Rock 101 has said, some bridges I just had to blow up. Some things I just had to say, you know what, it's not good for me. And I had to let that brother, that sister go. Couldn't really do business, couldn't really socialize with them. They was just toxic to me. Um, so, in saying that, the message to the Black Mason, the message to the Sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star, is one that I would want you to really consider and look at, and and take hold. And that is clearly to say, and analyze and break down to see, how did we become so at odds, so an enemy to each other, so angry at each other. Now, to share this with you, the brothers I had the opportunity to speak with were older uh, Prince Hall brothers that that's been around for a long time there in Mississippi, Canton to be exact. And the conversation went sort of like this. I walk into the store. Now, I know this brother already to be a Mason. He knows that I'm already a Mason. So, he not seeing me for a long time. I grip him. He looks at me. He says, how you doing, brother? I said, I'm doing fine. So we began to talk, and I began to bring back memories to him about who I am. And then he begins to break down my family to tell me, oh, well, I know this person in your family, or I know that person. I'm saying, yes, I'm that person's brother. I'm that person's family member. And we go back and forth, and the conversation was great. Then he says, that brother outside that door is not only my fraternal brother, but he's a member of Omega Psi Phi. You need to go and meet him. So I then go outside and I greet this brother the same way, and we begin to have a conversation. But through all of this conversation, what I felt from them, what I got from them is, first of all, you are a young black man. Secondly, you are a Mason. Thirdly, we know each other. Now you can switch that around. You can go 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, however you want to put it. But that's what I got, and it really done something to me. It really did. And I began to think about, you know, the status of black masonry collectively, not jurisdictionally, not anything else, but collectively. I thought about the show I did a few weeks ago on a brother who got in some serious trouble in Chicago. I thought about his issue, his life, what drove him to do what he did, and how he ended up where he was at. So I began to analyze and break down some things, and go back and read some of the posts from different people who have texted me along the way. And Brother Alex Fitzgerald, if I'm not mistaken, said in one of his messages in regards to the system of Freemasonry that it belongs to, in so many words, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, it belongs to the United Grand Lodge of England, or the Grand Lodge of England, however you want to put it. That system belongs to them. I disagree with him. Because as I began to analyze, as I began to break down some things in myself, I'm like, what was it before they drafted this system that we now practice? What was it before? Where did they get the idea from? Was the ideal already there? So I have quite a few books around. So I began to pick up some of my books and began to kind of go through some things, and I'm like, damn. So here's what I've come across, and I'm going to share it with you. Most of the books that all of us have, most of them, not all, but most of them, are written by white Masons. Most of all the books that most of us have are written by white Masons, breaking down the structure of Freemasonry. Then I was like, well, damn. So what I did, I started, looking through some more stuff I got. And I could not find. There are some, but I'm talking on the level of a Manly P. Hall. On that level, another black initiated, passed, and raised Mason. Now you may know one. If you know one, please tell me about them, but I couldn't find one. So I was a little ticked. I was a little ticked because I know that there are Masons, black Masons out there that can get real deep on some shit. I mean, take you places where you have to drop breadcrumbs to find your way back. They're out there. But what I did find on the flip side of that, I found that there are Masons out there who would rather tear you down, beat you up, instead of lift you up. There are more of those out there than anything else. So I started thinking once again, well, damn, where do we go from here? As black Masons, as Sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star, where do we go from here? We got all these books that's supposed to have great knowledge of understanding and breaking down things that, you know, most of us don't really think about, but giving us great insight and light. But yet we take it, yet we do damage with it. We don't do any great works with it. So my message to you is to start looking at it not from a jurisdictional point of view, but from an individual point of view. And I say that based upon your own obligation. I say it often until I had to go back and realize what was actually taking place. See, when you say until I have found him or them as worthy and well qualified as I am myself, that's an individual thing. But we don't think individually as Freemasons. We think jurisdictionally. We do. My jurisdiction. I'm a this, I'm a that. No, you're not I'm a this, I'm a that. You are a Mason, period. You are a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, period. There's no I'm a Prince Hall. You've heard me say it before. There's no I'm a John G. Jones. You are or you are not a Mason. Either you have been initiated, passed, and raised, or you have not. I've said that too, but now it gets a little bit to be a little bit more meaningful. It gets to have a little bit more meat on it, because after having conversation with whom I would consider elders, it gave me another perspective. It really did. Now I don't know about you and you know your travels as far as Masons. I don't know, but I'm giving you this. If you don't let your light shine, it won't shine. It won't. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, nothing is going to happen. See, I'm only responsible for me. But in the process of being responsible for me, I want to be the best example of a Mason that I can be, because I represent something bigger than where I'm at. See, most of us, including myself, at times get caught up on the jurisdictional thing. And that's the box that we have to come out of, because we are part of something that is much larger than our own grand lodges and jurisdictions. But most of us will never get there. We won't get there because we have to somehow re-educate ourselves in Freemasonry. And we have to detoxify ourselves. And when I say that, that is clearly say that somebody along the way has really done a number on us. Somebody along the way has told us how we should treat each other and dislike each other. Somebody along the way said, you know, because he is over there, you should not talk to him, you should not socialize with him, you shouldn't do anything with him Masonically because he's this or he's that. Hold on just a second. Can I give you a call right back? Okay, thanks. So I had to get that call. So this is where we're at right now. This is how I view it right now. Now, somebody else may have a different point of view. Somebody else may bring along something that's going to add some flavor to it, do something with it. But right now, Masonry, as far as Freemasonry is concerned, as far as blacks in Masonry is concerned, man, we got a long way to go. We have such a long way to go. And I don't like saying that, but it's so true. We do. We got such a long way to go. And it's not that we can't get there. We're going to have to wait till some people die off. We're going to have to wait till some people die off. It's just that simple. Because everybody is not ready for that journey. They're not. So while you're coming on tonight, I just want to say greetings to everybody. Traveling man, what's up? I appreciate you coming in, brother. Brother Maddox, thank you for coming in. Hammer Grand Lodge, Omega, thank you for coming in. I appreciate those who are tuning in tonight. Now, if you want to call into the show, you're certainly welcome to do so. That number is 619-985-1184. So the message to tonight is dealing with the system of Freemasonry. Now, we all know that this system that we practice in Freemasonry is truly, as we know it today, a European style of Freemasonry. It is. And on the flip side of that, I'm telling you, all of the signs and symbols and words come from the continent of Africa. Every last one of them. It is mixed with some Greek in it. Hear me clearly. The whole system of Freemasonry as we practice today is a European style of Freemasonry. That's what we practice. But the system of Freemasonry is as old as the United Grand Lodge of England, whatever you want to call it. It is as old as that. And not only that, it is a system from the continent of Africa. I'm not saying Egypt, Ghana, I'm not saying any particular place. I'm saying the continent as a whole. Because every sign, every symbol that you find in your Freemasonry work is found on that continent. Way before the system as we know it today for which we practice. Now, here's another challenge. This system that we practice, who's to say that it's the correct system? Who is it to say that this system is a righteous system, that this is the only system in town? Because it is not the only system in town. The system of Freemasonry, the European style of Freemasonry that you practice in North America is not the only system in town. It is not. But we've been so hook-winked and bamboozled to say it's the only system. It's the right system. Who told you that? Who told you that this was the best system to practice? It is the right. Who told you that? Because now, for me, I've learned in my own readings, I've learned because I've seen for myself that there's different systems of Freemasonry. Period. There is. And in learning and finding out about this, who's to say that you could not develop your own system of Freemasonry? Who's to say that you couldn't do it? Because the signs and symbols are just as ancient and old as anything that we know. But we have put our hopes and our dreams into this thing we call the Premier Grand Lodge. We have put our hopes and our dreams, and somebody has lied to us and said, this is it. Nothing more. This is it. If they say that you're not right, then you're not. This is it. And that's a lie. That is a lie. But some of us can't get over that. We can't. So the message is to us. The message to us. What about our own system? What about our own system of Freemasonry? I'm just saying. Masonry is universal, right? Right? There's some things that can't be changed, right? let's just be honest. There's some things that can't be changed because they're ancient landmarks. I'm talking about the landmarks of signs and symbols. Those landmarks. See, those landmarks can be changed. When you, the grip, the passwords, the sign marks in Freemasonry, they cannot be changed. They was there from the get-go. Day one, they was there. Somebody came along, developed a system, incorporated those into the system and said, poof, here you go. That's what they did. But when we do that, and we have done it before, but when we do that, somebody always comes along and say, that's not right. Who made you the Masonic police? Who made you the Masonic police? I just needs to know. Because I'm learning as I travel, as I have conversations with elders and talk with different brothers. There are other systems out there. I'm not saying you got to agree with them or whatever. I'm just saying that there are other systems of Freemasonry around the world that is practiced. In other words, you don't have the only house. Simple as that. You can say what you want to say and cut it up any way you want to cut it up. It is truth. So we got to really take hold to what we have here. Black man, black woman. This is for us. Don't throw away and give your pearls to the swine. Look, I am tired of people telling me about who I am. I don't know about you, but I am. I'm to the point I'm tired of people telling me who I am. And then I got to agree with you about you telling me who I am? No. No. Mm-mm. One brother said, well, why do you take, that book you got, the rituals you got, that's all European style of masonry, and you follow this type of system, blah, blah, blah. That's true. Once again, why can't you develop, or why can't we develop our own style of system, our own system of Freemasonry? My message is clearly this. I'm tired of people telling me or trying to tell me who I am. I'm tired of people telling me I shouldn't talk to this person or that person or don't recognize this person. I'm done with that. That's where I'm at. See, I'm on the point now, until I found him or them as worthy and well qualified as I am, that's where I'm at. So if you ever want to hold a conversation with me, that's the way it's going to have to be. Because you telling me you this and that does nothing for me. Nothing at all. But if you're telling me that you are a Mason, that you have been initiated, passed, and raised, if you're telling me that you're an Eastern Star, and that you have passed through the 5 points and have your 5 degrees, if you're telling me this about you, and we have found each other worthy and well qualified, now we're on the point. Now we're on the level. That's where it's at. But most of you will never get there. You never get there because you're listening to what somebody else tells you instead of finding out for yourself. That's just where it's at. And we all can, that's the goal with me and my brothers here in Maryland. We have to set the standards of masonry for the future. Because if you don't set the standards, who will? Individually, I'm not talking to you about your jurisdiction. I'm talking about individually. If you don't set standards, who will? If you have ever been a Grand Master, if you have ever been a Wishful Master, if you have ever been in leadership in your Masonic lodges, your worthy matron, associate matron, conductor, associate, if you have ever been in leadership elected to a position in your chapter and lodges, if you don't set the standards, who will? Leaders, Grand Masters, most puissant sovereign Grand Commanders, whatever that elected position is, if you don't set the standards for your organization, who will? Because right now, The standards to be a Mason, the standards to be an Eastern Star, it's a joke. It was said some time ago that if you're going to be a Mason, if you're going to be an Eastern Star, you should already, more than likely, have your house in order. I'm not saying that you're not going to have issues. I'm saying it should be in order. I'm not saying that you may not have some priors in your life. I'm just saying that at the time that you apply to be a Mason or an Eastern Star, you should have your house in order. You should be on a road going somewhere. You should be able to take that light and let it shine. Instead of putting it under a mattress, can be seen. A light on a hill can be seen from miles away. But if you have a light and you put it down and you put it under your bed, it can't be seen from nowhere. Nowhere. And that's what most of us do. Most of us, I'll say, treat masonry in the Order of the Eastern Star like a sorority and a fraternity in college. We do, including myself at one time. I did. Oh, yes, I did. Because I was proud. I was proud at that time. Being young, I'm a Mason. I'm growing. But now I'm to a point to where I want to be able to share what I have, give what I got, and leave it. It's not going to do me any good when I'm dead and gone. What have I done for the next man? What have I done for the next woman? What have I done for anybody along the way? And if I can't do anything for you, then I need to be not a part of your life. That's for real, because people can drain your energy. And I'm saying this to my brothers and sisters. We have to do better than what we're doing when we're dealing with each other. We do. Because if we don't do it, nobody else will. See, there was a time when you knew people in the communities that were Masons. You knew who they were. You knew Thurgood Marshall. Just because he was a Prince Hall, that means nothing to me. He was a Mason. It means more to me than him being a Prince Hall Mason. Okay? So when you think of people like Thurgood Marshall, when you think of people even like Richard Pryor, okay? Even him. When you think about those people who have come into this great thing called Freemasonry, and when you think of somebody like Maya Angelou, who's an Eastern Star, when you think about people like that, they're not going out saying that they are this and they're that. Their actions are showing you that they are a Mason. Their actions are showing you that they are Eastern Star. And it was not that their life was great in the beginning. Go read about Maya Angelou and how her life was in the beginning. You be like, damn, like that? Oh yeah, like that. Check out Richard Pryor and how his life was in the beginning. But they had to grow up. They had to see things from a different point of view. And when they began to grow up and see things from a different point of view, it didn't become I'm a this or I'm a that. They showed you who they were. They showed you that they was a Mason. They showed you that they was an Eastern Star. And then that's how they was treated. A long time ago, they used to say when a Mason walked into the room, you knew that he was a Mason. Y'all have heard that. Oh, well, she's an Eastern. Look how she carries herself in such a way. We all have heard the stories and the tales. This is why most of us probably even join. Because we've seen or we've heard. And most of us join because we know somebody who's already a Mason or an Eastern Star. And we might like their style. So we want to be a part of that. But see, when you become part of this thing, something's going to have to change. See, when you become a Mason, when you become an Eastern Star, some things are going to have to change. And when I say those things are going to have to change, I'm clearly saying that you're going to have to be able to make a deposit instead of a withdrawal. See, most of us like to make withdrawals. You know, you don't want to give nothing. All you want to do is take, 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 take. Most people who come into this great thing, the first thing, well, what can they do for me? See, that's the thing you miss. That's the beauty of the whole society of Freemasonry and the Eastern Stars. It is not what it can actually do for you, because membership has its privileges. Trust me on that. I don't care what jurisdiction you're a part of. Membership has its privileges, and it's based on how you carry yourself. It is. There's no doubt about it. How do you carry yourself? You know, because I know, and I'm speaking on experience, things that has actually happened to me as being a member of this great organization, is that, you know, when I came in, it was all out, hey, jeans, blue jeans, Chuck Taylors, you know, little t-shirt, I was good. But as I began to hang around the older brothers, my Chuck Taylors became dress shoes. My blue jeans became slacks. My t-shirt became a dress shirt. So when I stepped out, that's the way I began to change. I started dressing a little differently, you know. And I was like, wow. So when I look back now, I'm like, man, there was truly a progression. There was truly a change because of those that I was around. They truly made a deposit in me. Okay? They made that deposit in me. And in the process, this is where I'm at right now. It's because of those brothers that are long gone. If you go back and check out some older pictures of brothers that was in your lodge from the 60s and 70s, and maybe even some of the early 80 pictures, check out how they was dressed. Check out how they were dressed. And then you come and look at some of the pictures from the late 90s, late 80s, 2000s, and see how we dress. You can clearly see the difference. See, somebody didn't pass on the knowledge. Somebody didn't pass on something, got left behind. Some knowledge did not get passed on about who we truly are in this thing called Freemasonry. Somebody didn't tell us. Somebody been lying to us, in other words. They have. Good evening, good evening. And Grandmaster, how you doing? Since we are divided from the ancient mystery schools. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Grandmaster Larry, he hit it right there. Before there was Freemasonry like we know it today, there were ancient mystery schools. That's a fact. And this is where Freemasonry comes from. This is where it comes from. Now, the system has been redeveloped. That's all it's been. The system has been redeveloped, repackaged, resold. Okay? So here we are. Here we are. Upset, angry, and mad. Because he's not with me. She's over there. They won't talk to me. That's where we're at. And we have to kind of reconstruct things. We have to start looking at things differently. They say everywhere you go, you'll find a Mason. Have you ever heard of that? They said no matter where you go, you'll find a Mason. But is he well qualified? Is he who he say he is? Is she an Eastern Star? Is she who she say she is? Can you, if somebody said, yeah, he's a Mason, could you be convicted on that? You know, really? As Brother Christopher Jackson would say, could you be convicted of being a Mason, of being an Eastern Star? And this is where we're at. So we have to begin to reset standards in this organization. I don't care what jurisdiction you're in. We have to begin to reset the standards. That's my message. Reset the damn standards. And stop looking at this thing from some, I don't know. I don't know where we got it from. But the standards have to be restructured. You know? Look, everything evolves. Masonry has evolved. But there are some standards that should never change. Never change. There are some standards in Freemasonry that should never change. I don't care where you at. Brother, you should. They're missing out on the very thing that they say that they are a part of because of the standards. Because they don't even know themselves. They don't even pick up various books and read for themselves. As a matter of fact, I want to encourage you, brothers, sisters, I want to encourage you to write books about Freemasonry. Write them about what you've experienced in the organization. I want to encourage you to do that because I'm not finding a lot of books that is written by a lot of Black Masons. There are a few, but I'm talking about those deep books, you know, the ones that can really get you to think. I'm not talking about historical books about your history, you know, as far as your jurisdiction is concerned. I'm talking about books like Manly P. Hall, those type of books. See, what I've learned by watching Manly P. Hall, his lectures that he gave, they was not about a particular jurisdiction. They were not. They was strictly about Freemasonry. Long before Manly P. Hall became a Mason, he was breaking down the philosophy of Freemasonry. He was breaking it down long before that. And he did it in such a way till those individuals, they look, you got to become a Mason. You have to become a Mason. And that he did. Now the lectures that he was given was not so public anymore. They was more so privately given in Grand Lodge settings or Masonic settings. That's how they ran the gamut. And there are some Masons out there that I know of that I've talked to. Man, they deep. And like I said earlier, you got to leave breadcrumbs to follow you to find your way back. I want to encourage them to write books, to put their thought on paper, to put it down. We need Masons like that. We need Masons to come in, set standards, and say, look, it's not about your jurisdiction. We need that. We need that type of message across the board. Because it's not. It's truly not. Like I've said before, wherever I've gone and I've talked with the brother, it's always been about respect. I've always gone places where I've been celebrated and not just tolerated. I've always gone to those places. And I've enjoyed the fellowship. So like manner, you should be able to do the same thing outside of your jurisdiction. And stop allowing people to put us against each other. Stop allowing people to tell us who we are. Stop allowing people to interfere with us. We've only been free 50 years. Yeah, I know some of you probably like, damn, 50? Yeah, really, legitimately speaking, 50 years. We got to break the chain. We got to break that cycle. That nigger mentality, we have to break it. We can no longer afford to have that. We do. I can't afford to look at my brother and say, because he's here or there, I can't have a conversation with him about free. I cannot no longer do it. I'm blowing up the bridge. Rock 101. I'm done. It's a wrap. You know, my message is a wrap. I just don't have the patience nor the time to debate on childish stuff or things. If I can't build you up, if I can't be happy for your success, if I can't do something to help you progress in life, I need not to be part of that. And vice versa. If you can't help me to grow, then you need not to come on this side. Period. You need not to even call me if you can't help me grow. And don't call me talking about some salt in your eyes and you need to be rehealed. I'm not sick and I'm not blind. So please stop it. Yes, it should be a way of life. It should be. What's up, Mark Davis? How you doing there, bro? Greetings, Brother Hawkins. In your opinion, why do you think that some black grandmasters, be in Prince Hall or whomever, can't see the bigger picture? England nor mainstream gives two F's about black masonry. Well, when you're trying to be accepted, brother, when you're trying to be accepted, some people will sell their soul. Simple. When you're trying to be accepted, some people will sell their souls to be accepted. To say that that person knows who I am. He knows me. He accepts me. Some people will sell their heart. Some people will sell you out to be accepted. I can't do it. No, I can't do it. I can't sell you out to be accepted by somebody who hated me in the beginning. I can't do it. I can't sell you out because I know their history. I know what they did to people who look like you. I can't do that. I can't. I don't know about nobody else. I won't. I don't know about nobody else. But this is where we're at. Some people like that. Some people say, hey, you know, his water is colder and I can't take yours. Been in the same damn refrigerator. I'm just saying. That's my own opinion. To your question, Brother Mark Davis. One thing about us here, we do a lot of community feeding the homeless. We have a back to school drive coming up soon for the kids. We do a lot of great things here, and I love the craft so much, brothers. As you should. But see, that's the example. See, it's not, see, you're not saying, you're saying what the craft do. That's the difference. You're saying what the craft do. You're not saying, oh, I'm ancient, free, and accepted, and we do so much here. And we do. You're saying what the craft do. See, people on the outside, they don't give a damn about your jurisdiction. All they care about is the craft. When they see this symbol right here, man, they don't care. They don't give 2 cents about your jurisdiction. They don't. They really don't. But when you talk about the craft as in craft Freemasonry, the Order of the Eastern Star, that's what people see. And that's all they're concerned with. That's truth. That's fact. Not speaking for all whites, just most. What do the black grandmasters think he's going to lose by breaking ties with the UGLA? They lose recognition. That's what they lose. That's truth. They lose recognition. They lose the fact that somebody recognizes who they are. They lose the fact that, hey, you can't come to my house. They lose the fact that, hey, whatever. That's what they lose. That's what they're fought for. And you know what? Like I said before, let's not harper on this. Let's not harper on our brothers who are Prince Hall, because I don't want to do that. You know, I understand what you're saying, but that's something I don't want to do. This message is for us as a whole by saying, look, enough is enough with the craziness. You know, literally, enough is enough, because a lot of us has been miseducated information. So we don't know. And this is what we get, because we don't know. Because some of us are afraid to pick up a book and read it for ourselves. And those who have problems reading, your brother or your sister shouldn't mind helping you. They shouldn't mind. But what happens is some of us are embarrassed, and therefore we don't seek the help, you know? Because I can clearly say this. There's a lodge brother. His name was Albert Foster in my lodge. And I mentioned his name once before. This brother couldn't write a check. But he was a chief in the Navy. He was so damn good at what he did, they made him a chief. He didn't even take the test to be a chief. He was just that damn good. And I used to be like, wow, Brother Foster, you was a chief. Yeah, I was a chief. You know, I was a chief. Da-da-da-da. I was a master pipe fitter. I was the best at it. There was nobody else better than me. Nowhere. I was like, wow. Here's my checkbook. Write out my lodge dues, Brother Hawkins, and give me the figures. I did that. Brother could count. He knew his money. Just couldn't write. Couldn't hardly read. And I'm like, damn, that's deep. But he was, boy, you talking about a Mason to the heart? I'm just saying, it's Mason to the heart. That's what he was. He carried himself as the example of what a man in a Mason's house, how he's supposed to carry himself. That's what he did. And I was like, wow, you know, being young and seeing this, I'm like, damn, that's, whew. And he would Q&A me. And I'm like, how is it that this brother couldn't read, hardly could write, can Q&A me? I mean, literally. I mean, the standards were set when you think about it. And I'm quite sure some of you have come across brothers like that and sisters. You know, them old sisters, even today, sit back and they don't say much, but you come across one of them the wrong way. You know? And some will grip you as an Eastern Star. And that's why it's important for a brother Mason to become an Eastern Star. So he would be able to recognize a sister grip when she reaches out and grips him as an Eastern Star. Most of us don't become Eastern Stars because, that's what it, no. How you going to be able to interact with a sister when you don't even know if she's gripping you? You know? How you going to interact with a sister when she's talking to you clearly about the order of the Eastern Star, but you don't have no comeback. You can't communicate with her on that level. I encourage all brothers to become Eastern Stars. I do. But it's up to us to make that change. My good brother, we have our school coming up in October for brothers here in Harem Grand Lodge in Maryland. We have to show them the right way. You doggone skip it, because if you don't show them the right way, they're going to be talking to brothers in the streets and they're going to get all screwed up. You got brothers who inbox people. Oh, you know you're in the wrong Grand Lodge. You know that. I mean, literally messaging somebody on Facebook trying to convince them to come to their jurisdiction. That's truth. That's a fact. That happens. Brother Larry Diamond, do they share the love that flows from the heart to heart, breast to breast, without exceptions? I couldn't tell you. That's another question. You know? You know, Jonathan G, what's going on, brother? Peace and love to you. I have a book coming real soon on the history of us Black Masons across the globe. Brother John G. Jones was a great brother, and I want to follow what he started, the future of us as Black Masons. Well, the future of Black Mason lies with Black Masons. The future of Black Masons lies with Black Masons. The future of the Order of the Eastern Star lies with the Order of the Eastern Star. All I've ever said, all I've ever asked anyone to do who comes on this channel is please pick up a good Masonic book, a good Order of the Eastern Star book, and begin to read and digest this stuff for yourself. Because it's global. Okay, it is just not about your jurisdiction. It's global. It's good to know the history of your jurisdiction. Let me break that down. I never said don't learn your history about your jurisdiction. But I'm saying when you speak on Freemasonry, when you speak on the Order of the Eastern Star, it's global. Okay, it's global. It's bigger than where you're at. Some of us would never get, some of us would always be connected to the matrix. Some of us would always be connected to the matrix. We will, because we can't stand to be disconnected. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. That's a human thing. There's nothing wrong with it. But when the love is not legitimate, when the acceptance is not really from the heart, then why even look for it? That's the truth. So Jane, what's going on with you? Kevin, how you doing? We meet on the level, act on the plumb, and part on the square. Yeah, some of us do. Some of us really do that. A lot of us don't. A lot of us are in masonry for the wrong reasons. A lot of us is in masonry to see what masonry can do or what we can get out of it. A lot of us are in masonry because my best friend was a mason. And there was no standards. See, his friend was running the streets trying to just get into every Eastern Star he ran across. He wanted to just knock this. You know exactly what I'm saying. So therefore, if he's seen that, so now he wants to do the same thing. See, oh, I need to get some of that. Oh, brother, come on and join us. I'll vouch for you. No. See, you don't value the craft. See, me, a sister told me this, and I appreciate her. She said most people who become members of the Order of the Eastern Star and Freemasonry don't value the craft. They don't value the sisterhood. See, because as I said once before, some time ago, you used to have there was a lineage, a blood lineage or a bloodline in order to be a Mason, in order to be an Eastern Star. Brother had to you had to be in the family. But now we have this thing, well, we're going to adopt you, he's going to adopt you in, and then you become a Mason by that, Used to be family. That's true. Go back, do your own research, find out for yourself. Yes. In order to be an Eastern Star, you had to be the husband of a Mason, the brother. It had to be family. In order to be a Mason, you had to be recommended, right? Well recommended, right? A lawful age, right? It was family. But now, I don't know what it is. You said laughing my ass off. I don't know what it is, bruh. Brother Ham said, you are so right. And that the problem, some are afraid of you passing them in masonry. But it should not be that way at all. If you have the knowledge to teach a brother, at the end of the day, it makes the CRA. Yeah, it does. It does. Oh, better. Okay, got it. It really does. But know how to give that comes with practicing and reading and getting to know the works of Freemasonry. Most 33rds that I've come across can't give a lecture on the first degree. Most 33rds that I've come across can't give a lecture off the top of their head on the first, second, or third degree. And damn it, if you ask them about any of the previous degrees, you didn't piss them off. Because a lot of people, individuals who are 33rds, paid for it. It's an honorary degree. But they paid for it. They did. They had the money. The Sovereign Grand Commander makes 33rds, and they paid them for it. See, in order to get, now, I'm going to share this with you. The process that I've learned as far as 33rds are concerned, in my experience in going to another Supreme Council, what I've learned from this particular Supreme Council is that in order to get your 33rd, first you must be recommended. Secondly, you're going to put in a resume about your Masonic career. Thirdly, you're going to be interviewed. Then it's going to be based upon those three things whether your application is going to be accepted or denied. But I guarantee you this, in most amongst us, I would say, that doesn't happen. It doesn't. You got the money, you can pay for it, you can become a 33rd. The standards at one time, before you became a 33rd, you had to be of age. Now you got brothers I've come across, oh, I'm 28. You 28, you're 33rd? God, how you become a 33rd at 28? How you become a 33rd at 25? Oh, it's just my knowledge. And that may be true. I'm not going to knock individuals who are young and able to absorb and break that. But when you talk about the 33rd, it is just my opinion. I believe not only should you have the knowledge, you should have the age that comes along with it. Because even if you're 21 and you come into Masonry, even if you're 18 and you come into Masonry, and then let's say, for instance, you're 28 now, and you've been in it 9 to 10 years already, you don't have the age when it comes to 30 to the 33rd. That's just my own opinion. Different jurisdictions have their own way of going through and bringing in individual 33rd. But what I've learned, as I've said, what I've learned not from my jurisdiction when it comes to the Supreme Council, but my visitations to other jurisdictions. When I've gone to the Supreme Council and I asked them, well, what's the process? And I learned that was the process. And I was like, well, damn, that's one hell of a process. And some may be even a little bit deeper than that. But see, what happens with us, a lot of times it's all about that dollar, baby. What you gonna pay? What? $1,300, $14,000, $5,000? Yeah. You break that money off, boom, there it is. You there. And it's not meant to be that way. Because as a 33rd, you're supposed to be very knowledgeable in the arts and science and the whole concept. You're supposed to be able to talk on any of the degrees in Freemasonry. I didn't say you had to know them verbatim. I said you should be able to have a conversation about any of the degrees in Freemasonry if you are a 33rd. Plain and simple. If you can't talk about the Knights of the East and West, the Blazing Serpent, if you can't talk about the LOP, for which most of us know, if you can't talk about the Most Excellent Master, the Super Excellent Master, if you can't talk about them, the 7 degrees within the Royal Arch, if you can't talk about that, the Knights of Kadash, the Knights of the Master, if you can't have conversations about those previous degrees, whether it be on the York Rite or Scottish Rite side, then why are you a 33rd? Somebody need to talk back to me, because I've come across some. And you don't usually talk, when you're a 33rd, you don't usually talk to other 33rd degrees. You don't. I don't know why. Some just don't even want to have, they wear the ring like this one. I have mine on, but they can't even have a conversation with you. And damn it, most of them don't even know the proper grip of a 33rd. Holler back at me. That's a fact. So, Gene, I've been following you for a long time. And since, what's up, Connecticut? All right. Brother, you are straightforward, please. I mean, look, I try to be as personal personable as possible. You know, I am just who I am. I don't have time to sugarcoat anything. Let me tell you, this is a true story. I was having a conversation with my past Most Puissant Sovereign Grand Commander because I'm no longer part of that particular jurisdiction. And he asked me personally, he said, do you care about your station that you was elected to? I told him I don't give a damn about a station. I care about the craft. I don't. A station don't make me. I make the station. When I get to that seat, I make that seat. And that's how you should take it. In my own humble opinion, if you're an inner apprentice, fellow craft, whatever seat that you may get in, and somebody may put you, elect you, appoint you to a station, when you get there, you own it. When you get to a station in an elected or appointed position in your jurisdiction, you own that seat. If you're a steward, be it a junior or a senior steward, own it. Junior, senior deacon, own it. Junior warden, senior warden, master of the lodge, own the station. Learn the works. Own it. And when you do that, nobody can say, well, damn, you know, why even in the seat? You need to start preparing yourself to be in leadership positions. And this is the essence of Freemasonry. Freemasonry prepare people to be in leadership positions. If you think I'm wrong, or if you think I'm lying, look at the leaders that come through Freemasonry. Freemasonry prepared men to be leaders at one time. We did. Especially African Americans. We prepared people to be leaders. Look, if you ever have the opportunity, look at some of the great black men among us, and I guarantee you 80% of them were Masons. I don't give a damn what jurisdiction they were in. They were Masons, period. You can claim that they was whatever, but they were Masons. And they was the example. But I couldn't tell you where it's gone, though. I couldn't tell you, I couldn't. You know. So this is what we have to do. This is the message that I want to deliver. This is what I want to give you. Now, I don't know what you're going to do with it, how you're going to take it, but, you know, hey, if I can help or assist any brother along the way, regardless of his or her jurisdiction, to be a better sister of the order, to be a better Mason of the craft, and if I can do that, I've done my job as a Mason. Or a sister in any jurisdiction, to be the best sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, to be the best Mason, I've done my job. Because it's not about your jurisdiction. It's not. I've done my job. A lot of us miss that. We're so hell-bent on holding up the name of your jurisdiction till you forget the individuals that make up your jurisdiction. We're too busy treating it like a club or a fashion show. We're missing out on the essence and lessons that are being taught, that are here before. We're missing out on those who've gone before us and laid the foundation. We're missing out on that. We're missing out on it. And here's something I've learned. I'm going to share this with you. No matter where you go in the world, as a black man or a black woman, the condition of the black man and black woman is damn near identical. Talk back to me. Hear what I just said. No matter where you go in this world, as a black man or black woman, the condition of the black man and black woman is damn near the same. Am I lying? Somebody, those of you who have been in the service, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, you have traveled around the world, those who've got money in your pocket, and you have you've gone to different places in the world, tell me if I'm lying. The condition of the black man and woman around the world, on every continent, country, is damn near identical. And you guys want to talk to me about some damn jurisdictional thing that you're better than or less than? Nah. There's a big thing. There's something that is happening here that is bigger than me, bigger than you. Another thing, hey, what's up? What's up, Charles? Says another thing I'm always told by the brothers is you can have a 33rd, but if you don't understand the meaning behind those degrees, having them don't mean anything. You damn right. There are many jurisdictions that don't teach after the 3rd degree, 4032, the shrine, within a day, just to say you are. There are a ton of 32nd Masons that don't know the EA, let alone the 32nd. Yep. What's up, Light Traveler? How you doing? Jackie Thornton, how you doing? Brandon Lewis, what's going on, my brother? How you doing? Everybody who's just coming along, greetings and welcome. Would you please hit the like button? I appreciate it. And if you don't like what I'm saying, hell, you can hit the down button. But whatever you do, hit a button. You know what we're trying to do here on this particular page, this podcast, this whatever you want to call it, is really talk about Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star in such a way to if an individual who is truly interested in becoming the Eastern Star, if a person who's truly interested in becoming a Mason, I might as well just be upfront with you about the whole crap. I don't want you coming in with this illusion. You know, I want you coming in knowing with your eyes wide open some of the expectations that's going to be placed upon you. The message to you, my brother, new or old, my message to you is to take and be the example of how one should carry themselves and be as an Eastern Star and be as a Mason. That's my message to you. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do some more traveling here real soon, within just a couple of days. I'm getting ready to get back on the road. But that's what I enjoy about Masonry, is being able to go and fellowship beyond my jurisdiction. But when people put limits on you and you allow them to, that's your problem. You allow people to put limits on you, to tell you where you can and can't go. Or you can't come here. If you invite me, I'm coming. Simple as that. Well, you can't go there. Well, if I'm not invited, I shouldn't go anyway. Let's just be honest. You never go anywhere where you're not invited. Because if you do, you may find yourself harmed. I'm just saying. So, well, you might as well get used to it. Yep, a lot of 33rds can't even talk the 3rd degree with me. And that's a problem. And it's sad to me because I look up some of the way. I'm going, yeah, you should do it the right way. You doggone Skippy. If you do it the right way, nobody can ever come back to you and undercut you. I'll tell you this here. There's a noble of the Mystic Shrine that I know. And he was coming through. He couldn't finish. So we said to him, hey, look, because you can't finish, what we're going to do, I'm just letting you know, what we're going to do is we're going to call it a day and we'll finish at a later time. But we're going to take pictures tonight. So, you know, you can don your fez, you know, here's the certificate, but you're going to have to finish. All right, bro. Yeah. I'm gonna finish. Now he's telling me, yeah, he's gonna finish. But when it came down to it, that punk, uh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I did. It's out now. Did not finish. And you want me to consider you to be a noble when you didn't even finish the job of a noble? Well, you didn't finish your journey, but you want me to consider you to be a noble. I can't do it. I will consider you to be a brother of the craft degree work, but I can't consider you to be a noble because I know you didn't finish. That's my message. Finish the work. You never finished. And no, I can't accept you as a noble. You didn't finish the work. No disrespect to you, but you didn't finish, okay? And I know you personally, so if you're watching this, yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about. It ain't personal. You just didn't finish the doggone work. Finish the work. That's all I ask you to do, is to finish. And then we could talk about the things of the noble, the double path. We could talk about that. We could talk about the black rock, okay? We could talk about the date tree. We could talk about the Campbell. Did you time up right? We can have that conversation. But I can't have the conversation if you don't finish the work. Just that simple. And a lot of people don't finish the work. A lot of people don't finish the work. They talk about it, but they never finish the work. You could talk about people becoming a Knights Templar, but they never went to the hills of the skulls. They never seen the work. Okay? In the Knights Templars, there are multiple passwords. Multiple. But you don't get them all because you don't study the works of the Knights Templars. And if you're a Knights Templar, you must repeat the, let me see. It's called I can't even think of the name of it. There's an oath that you have to repeat. Well, it's not really. Yeah, it's. Oh, if you're a Knights Templar, you're going to repeat this here. And it goes something similar to this. I won't give you all of it. I believe in Jesus as my Lord and Savior. You're going to say that. Not only are you going to say that, I believe that he was buried and raised from the grave. I believe in Mary. I believe in the Holy St. John's. And it goes something similar to that. If you're a Knights Templar, and I can't even think of what they call it. Oh, snaps. You're going to repeat that. But if you're a Muslim who's been trying to become a Mason, you ain't going to go that route. You are not. Don't even do it. You're not going to go that route. You're not going to say that. I'm just saying. I know, I had to go that route. That's some funny shit. Trust me on that when you're like, nah, he ain't not going to say that. Nope. You might as well skip that part. Dang, I can't even think of, can't think of the name of it. Dang it. If you're a Knights Templar, there you go, the creed. Brother Larry, thank you. You're going to say that creed. Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there. You're going to say the creed. You're going to say it. And you're going to get 7 cuts. Now, check this out. I'm going somewhere else right now. You remember the movie John Wick 3? The new movie John Wick 3? You remember? I'm just pointing out some things because I like watching movies. So, what is his name? Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne. Okay, you remember he plays the guy. He's not homeless, but he runs everything underground. He runs the underground city, right? He runs everything underground on John Wick 3, right? So, in the movie, John Wick, he kills a guy on the holy ground. He kills this guy, right? And now everybody is out to kill John Wick, right? But they help him to escape, right? In the movie. Here's the part that most people who are Masons and Eastern Stars didn't see coming. The female who walks upstairs on top of the building to talk to Lawrence Fishburne in regards to how did John Wick get away, she does something. She gives that brother 7 cuts. Yeah, if you're a Knights Templar, go back and watch John Wick 3. When you get to that part of the movie, he gets 7 cuts. And then he gets the final blow. That's truth. Go back and watch it. See, they put a lot of Masonic stuff in movies, and I be cracking up when I watch them. I'm losing. I want to stay on topic, though. I want to get back on topic about the message. The message is, oh man, that was fun. The message is that we're going to have to do better amongst ourselves and stop allowing people to dictate to us who we are, how we should act. No, being a Mason is something special. Being an Eastern Star is something special. That's how I see it. You know? The Apostle Creed. That's right, Brother Lewis. Thank you very much. That's it. If you're a Knights Templar, you're going to say that. Yeah, on the hill called Golgotha where those skulls are at. You're going to get down. You're going to get down. Oh, yes. Alice Fitzgerald? Yeah, we can talk about that. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the white cube, but I've heard and I've read some stuff on it. Okay? And I'm not going to try to sit here and say, yeah, I know everything. No, I don't. But I do. I do know a cube that was so white that as people began to travel around it, it turned black. Are we talking about the same cube? I'm just saying. Golgotha on the hill. Yeah, on the hill called Golgotha. Oh yeah, even in Robin Hood. He did. He went around the corner in Robin Hood when he was talking to Little John. So Robin Hood was talking to Little John. They went around it like they supposed to have went around on the other side of the mountain or something. And he was talking to Little John. And he told Little John that he was going on the 5 points of fellowship. He gave it to Little John on television. Yeah, he did. Gave him the grip, the 5 points of fellowship, and broke it down to him in Robin Hood. That's the old Robin Hood, not the one with Jamie Foxx. See, they did a new Robin Hood with Jamie Foxx, and you know, but I'm talking about the old Robin Hood. Shriners have the black stone. The Templars have the cube. Okay, if you want to go that route, when you're talking about that, now, since you talk about the Templars have the cube and the Shriners have the stone, it's not just a regular stone. Not one that it's a cube. That stone is actually a cube. When it unfolds, if you unfold that cube and you lay it out, let me see how I want to go with this here. I'm gonna leave. That's gonna have to be another show, because where I want to go with it is taking me totally off the topic for tonight. As far as the message to the Black Masons, I don't want to. That's gonna have to be for another show, bro. I don't want to do that one. Yeah, I know. Okay, I appreciate that, because let's not do that one. But considering the message to the Black Mason, the message to the Sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, just consider what this organization is all about. Be the example, regardless of your jurisdiction. Carry ourselves like somebody. Not just any old person, but like somebody. Look at the examples of those who've gone before us, of those who was really portraying and carrying on as they should, as somebody. Thurgood Marshall is a great example. Okay, even my girl Maya Angelou as an Eastern Star. in their age, they were the example of an Eastern Star and as a Mason. When they first started out, they was a little rough. But as they went through the youth, the manhood, the age, the mother, the wife, the daughter, as they progressed in life, they became the example of what a Mason and Eastern Star should, how they should carry themselves and how they should be. They fought for justice, brotherly love, relief, and truth. That's what they did. Do we fight for those very same things today? Or do we allow our jurisdictions, do we allow ourselves to get so caught up to where we're not even in the fight any damn more? See, those Masons and Eastern Stars a long ago, Brother Lewis, Brandon Lewis, they was in the fight. It wasn't about their jurisdiction. They was in the fight. Those Eastern Stars of long ago were in the fight, okay? Where are we at? Brothers, where are we at? Are we in the fight? Are we on the sidelines tonight? We just gonna go turn up. Are we doing that? Blue, blue? Where we at? You know? Where we at? Robin Hood was in black and white. That's right. Stone, nah, bruh. Hawk, you should develop a new black fraternity called Stone Man. No, that's not. Well, you know what? I'm saying that it's not for me to do, but who knows? That's. I just got done. I had with my own Grand Lodge just completed our own Masonic rituals. We have our own Masonic rituals, and I'll tell you this. What we did with our Masonic rituals, we put our picture in it. We did. We put pictures that look like us in our Masonic rituals. That's what we did. And we took those things from the continent of Africa and implemented them in our Masonic rituals. I had totally lost it. I was working on it some time ago and I completed it, and then my computer crashed. So I had to go back and actually begin to kind of work on it from scratch. And I'm glad that I had some things left. And now that it's done, I got to present it to my Grand Master and to the craft and say, here you go. And we have pictures in there, people who look like us. You know? So there will be no, no, this is for us and by us. You know, for real. Oh, what's up, Corey Jackson? He says all about knowing the difference between black leaders and leading black. Oh, okay. That's true. So look, everyone, I appreciate you coming on tonight. You know, that drive last night, man. Look, I want to send a big shout out to my own son. Last night, you know, when you're driving across country, and it gives you time to reflect and to have conversations into various different parts of life, and I was driving across country with my son and my grandkids, my wife. We was like cruising, and you know, when I was younger, I did the drive, and he was a little baby. But now to sit next to my son and him driving across country, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, damn. You know? So if you have sons, if you have daughters, brothers and sisters of the order and brothers of the craft, love on your family, man. Love on them. You know? And enjoy their company. And build them up. Be proud of their success. And even if they fail along the way, pick them up. That's what we do. You pick them up. In my drive last night, coming across country, man, it was beautiful. The stars just looking up and like, damn, you know, and to have a conversation with my grown son, my adult son, it was special. And now he has a son. Man, that's even better. I mean, great. You know, so look, love on your family. Lift them up, keep them in prayer, and we're going to see what tomorrow holds or who holds tomorrow. So until I see you, until we cross paths and wherever we may meet and greet each other, hey, peace and be well, and whatever you do, please stay out the bushes and keep your light on. That's, hey, 3 generations, that's right. Brother, man, I know I said I was going to go. But for those of us who are fathers, and maybe I'm going to say even uncles, and you may even have kids you've adopted, I'm going to say this. There's nothing like looking over to your left or to your right and seeing yourself. The continuation of yourself. Like the brother just said, 3 generations. You have no idea how that felt. For me, it was something special. So, now I gotta go. Peace and be well. I appreciate you. And you know what? Stay out the bushes and keep your light on. I'm out.